Hey, welcome to For the Story, the only post-apocalyptic podcast that's no longer shackled by the burdens of womanhood. My name's Avery.
Just guys being dudes.
Goddamn right.
I'm Imogen Poots.
The real name of a real actress. Imogen. There's also a band called Imogen Heap, isn't there?
Yeah, it's Imogen Poots' uncle's sister, which is her mom.
Imogen Poots? Oh my God, that's really her name.
Yeah, and she was in our week's movie, Napoleon Dynamite 2.
Napoleon Dynamite 2, There Will Be Blood.
No country for Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. No, we didn't watch that or anything like that. Well, sort of like that, but we watched The Art of Self-Defense, which is a movie with Jesse Eisenberg. We were supposed to watch something totally different, but we decided to throw the whole playbook out the window because that's us. You can't expect what's coming next. Also, we're
just guys being dudes.
We're just guys being dudes. We're here talking about movies every week.
We couldn't see it till this weekend. So
yeah, we couldn't see it till this weekend. So we're just gonna put that out on like Sunday. Just listen, it'll be there for your Monday morning commute. Do not worry. I'm sure everyone is going to be riveted by us talking about Dr. Sleep.
I'm gonna get probably the most mad I think I've ever gotten at a movie.
Oh my God, that's great. I've read, I want to preface this before we really move forward, since I think we do owe them some conversation about Dr. Sleep, but I read this article and I want to find it so I could show it to you. I forget what publication it was from, but I read this article that was saying that the directors for Dr. Sleep found like notes from Stanley Kubrick when he was directing The Shining, like production notes and stuff like that, and they copied his shit shot for shot. And then they showed all these screenshots that were next to each other, and like it was like the Kubrick shot, and then it was like the next shot was like it just looked like shit. Like just shit.
My favorite thing is when you like texted me about this, you're like, yeah, apparently they read his notes, and I'm like, I don't think they know how to read.
No, it was so good. It was like there was this one picture where, you know, the mountain scene as they're driving up to the hotel, and it's like the opening for The Shining, and it's like iconic. Yeah. Well, they remade it, but it's just they just made it all day for night dark. Just darkness, and they showed these shots back to back. It's like, why did you pick that one? That looks horrible. Like, that's the worst looking shot, and it was just so bad.
Okay, Haley Joel Osment has a lookalike in this movie. I want you to let me know next episode who that was.
Okay, all right.
Because he has a look, and also there is a very hot wine mom in this movie.
Wine moms are mwah.
Just a yoga wine mom. I'm just like, okay.
Excellent. So
do you want to talk about what we watched this week?
Yeah, let's talk a little bit. So I'm going to be honest, I don't really have any new movies that I really watch. Or no, that is not true. I watched some weirdo fucking shit this week, including The Art of Self-Defense. I watched this one movie, which I started to talk to you about. It's called Deep Murder. It's definitely,
you were like making fun of Sublime and you were doing weird stuff.
This movie is just absolute nonsense and relishes the fact that it's nonsense. It's like it starts off as a softcore porno. All the characters are so dumb, and like, but then somebody gets murdered, and like they don't like the movie turns into a horror movie, but they don't stop being softcore porno characters. Like, it's so stupid. I really want you to watch it because I think you'll fucking hate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like something I will do with my time. Thanks, Avery.
It's just like, it was one of those things where I was like, I haven't seen something that's so punctuated the sense of humor that I love in like this long. I was like, okay, cool. I got to talk about this. So Deep Murder, it is not a good movie. Totally watch it because it is just like blissful nonsense. Just like absolute elevation of nonsense. It just gets more and more ridiculous. Just nonsense. I fucking love it. It's great. Yeah. So there's that. We asked, what else did you watch this week?
Yeah, I watched a couple. I watched The Amateur, which is like a bad sports movie, which was fine. I watched Malicious, which was fine. I want to talk about a movie I watched this weekend. I don't care if any of you haven't seen this movie. I'm spoiling it because it is one of the most atrocious fucking things I've ever seen. I watched a film called Eli. Now, Eli is a pretty,
you told me about this.
pretty standard horror movie. Kid with bubble boy disease goes to mystical like doctor retreat place with his family. Right?
Classic setup.
Classic setup. He's getting treatments for his bubble boy disease when all of a sudden ghosts. Right?
Great.
So they're good. And then Max from Stranger Things talks to him through a window. Then
All right.
twist. The ghosts are actually the good guys and the doctors are doing something bad. Right?
They've never done that before.
Never done that. But then boom, Avery, double twist. Now, Avery, if you can guess what the second twist is, I will literally give you $50.
The ghosts are actually evil,
three guesses.
and they've been using him the whole time to make him think that they're good.
Nope.
The boy doesn't really have bubble boy disease.
Well, I mean, that's a little vague.
So the kid doesn't really need to be in the bubble is basically what I'm saying. So he's in a bubble boy disease the whole time. Really? That's so obvious. His mom's been like totally lying to him his entire life, and he doesn't really have an infectious disease that causes him to need to stay in the bubble.
That's the Jake Gyllenhaal movie Bubble Boy. This is not what happens in this movie. You have one more guess.
Ah, shit, but it's so obvious. Is the kid really in a bubble in this movie?
Well, he's like in like a hazmat suit.
Oh, okay. So he's in a metaphorical bubble.
Yeah, he has bubble boy disease. Like it rips and his skin breaks out.
I don't know. The kid's been dead the whole time.
Avery, these aren't doctors. They're nuns, and they've been injecting him with holy water because he is the son of Satan.
What? What? That's fucking awesome.
and he turns all of the nuns upside down in crosses and turns them on fire, and then leaves with his mom, who fucked Satan, with Max from Stranger Things, who is his sister, who also is a son of Satan.
Fuck. Yeah. All right, quick 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely the dumbest fucking movie I've ever seen.
Oh,
and it's like it's like actually kind of creepy at the beginning because the ghosts are doing contortion and they have no jaws, and it's a creepy. It's like it's actually the same house from The Haunting of Hill House. This is like the third time I've seen it in a Netflix movie.
It's probably a really good set. Honestly, The Haunting of Hill House
set.
Yeah, they might have reused it, to be completely honest.
They might have. That's just like their most notable show.
Yeah. Is it also a Blumhouse movie? Because I know that they have a tendency to reuse sets.
No, Haunting of Hill House is a Netflix original series.
Okay.
And Eli's a Netflix movie.
Oh, interesting. So, okay. So
I forget what the other one I saw it in was, but I've seen that same house in another movie.
We talked about it. It was one that we reviewed on the show. I can't remember what it was, though. It was like, maybe it was one of the pornos.
I don't think so. I feel like that's wrong.
Well, whatever. Cool. Hell yeah, Eli. You spoiled it all, but honestly, it doesn't sound like it was worth it to not spoil. So there you go.
I knew you wouldn't be able to guess it. You were really
That's
close
so
when you
absurd.
said he doesn't have bubble boy disease. Technically true, but not nearly.
Right, not nearly as
information.
absurd. The things that I were throwing out there were just too easy twist. You know, it was like, obviously he doesn't have bubble boy disease. Obviously the ghosts are good. You know, like stuff like that.
Was the movie Bubble Boy Jake Gyllenhaal, or was that Jamie Kennedy?
It's Jake Gyllenhaal. Like, for sure, it's Jake Gyllenhaal.
Are you? I feel like those two guys could have been.
They did look similar back in the 90s, but no, it's definitely Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to look it up.
I feel like Jamie Kennedy had it in his contract that no matter who he played, he had to wear like a silver chain around his neck in all of his roles.
You might be right. Yeah. Jake Gyllenhaal. 100% Jake Gyllenhaal.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My
2001.
doppelganger.
So that's after This is after Donnie Darko, I think, which is interesting because I think this movie's goofy and stupid.
Oh, it's really bad.
Yeah,
remarkably.
It's so funny. It's so funny seeing Jake Gyllenhaal's career because he's like a pretty well-respected actor at this point. And he was in Bubble Boy.
What did he do that made him so like? Where did that turn happen?
It's been in the last 10 years, really. I think he started picking up more like serious indie roles.
Was it
for a
Zodiac
while,
that was the turnaround for him?
Zodiac was a good movie for him. That's probably right around when it started to change. He was also in who's the is it Alfonso Cuarón? Is that his name? I can't remember. He was in one called Enemy. Yeah, he was in one called Enemy, and I think it's Cuarón or Cuarón. I forget how to say his name.
Cuarón.
Nightcrawler was a really good film for him. I don't know if you've seen that
Southpaw one. Was apparently good. I mean, I never saw Southpaw.
Yeah,
never very few movies like that I like. Oakjaw was great with him.
Yeah. Probably Zodiac. Probably honestly, Brokeback Mountain probably did a lot for his career.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, that's probably when he started being taken
upcoming
seriously.
Movies.
Yeah.
He's going to be in something called The Anarchists versus ISIS. 10 out of 10. Already going to just... That's a great movie.
That's a really good sounding title. I'll tell you that right there.
I don't know, man.
Did you... he's been in a lot of stuff. He's a good actor. Yeah. I like Jake Gyllenhaal. He's one of our better actors of our time, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I mean... what's your favorite Jake Gyllenhaal movie?
Dude, you ready for like this hot take? Honestly,
Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time.
Not that. That would have been funny, but I'm tied between Nightcrawler and Donnie Darko. I know Donnie Darko is kind of a stupid movie and it gets shit on a lot because it doesn't make any sense, but I just enjoy it. I just do. There's something about it that hit me at like right at that age when I don't know what it was, man. It's probably nostalgia. But I remember that movie very fondly. It's like a very
Johnny Depp role. It's like surprising that role wasn't played by like a teenage Johnny Depp.
I mean, it came out in the early 2000s. There was a lot of influence from Tim Burton at this time, coming off of like the 90s. So I think that's probably why they're trying to go for that. I love that they do this like 80s throwback thing, but it's only in like 2001 that they do this 80s throwback. So it was so much more recent. In the 80s were, and it's really interesting to see it from that perspective.
Speaking of Tim Burton, though, I actually have you seen the screen test of Nick Cage's Superman in the never made Batman or Superman Forever film by Tim Burton?
I haven't.
It's fucking hilarious.
You should send me some and we'll do a reaction to it on an episode. That sounds hilarious. What an odd choice. Nick Cage is having an awesome renaissance right now, right? Isn't he? Like, people like him again. It's like people started to feel bad that they made fun of him for like 20 years, and then he did one good movie, and now he's getting put in all these like roles. Like Mandy was great. He's coming out in whatever the new one is, the color one that we're gonna watch.
Color Out of Space.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like hell yeah. So good for him. Yeah. Well, we kind of threw this episode together a little ad hoc, but we're kind of going off the rails here. I think we should probably get moving into whatever it is we normally talk about at this point. Where do we?
We gotta get a new fucking thing for now that we're in the second 100 episodes.
I know we're gonna think of a new segment. We're coming up with something good. We got all this new stuff coming your way, guys. Like, our episodes have been longer lately. I don't know if you noticed it. It's almost like we really enjoy what we do.
Ugh, Avery, stop hitting on me, please. So
Ash, all right. We should do the budget. Can we talk about the budget for the Art of Self-Defense? Do you have anything prepped? I know it's short notice. I know we threw this together.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find something. Come on.
Yeah. Okay. Karate budget breakdown. Actually, karate shot my mic. I think it's broken.
Oh my God. I can hear you just fine.
I know. No, it's broken. We have to end the show.
We'll find out. We'll find out when it's just the rest of the episode is an hour and 15 minutes of me talking to myself.
Avery, I think it's about time I told you. That's always what the podcast
It's always
been. You're like, why don't more people listen? It's like, yeah, because it's like half silent and you're just talking to yourself like a crazy person.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Movie
that's exactly
idea.
correct. Wow. So
Guys.
I actually pulled up some box office statistics, but why don't you hit me first?
Yeah. No. You fucking hit me. Give me that sweet, sweet money. You take charge this round.
This is the budget breakdown.
All right. Let's do this. Let's see. I just fucking had the budget in front of me.
Already killing it.
Yeah. So let's. Oh, okay. So I got what it made at the box office, right?
Okay.
So basically, The Art of Self-Defense, it made $2.4 million domestically in its entire run, which is honestly kind of better than I expected. This movie was like really small, and its opening weekend, I kind of want you to spitball at what you think this made in its opening weekend of 7 theaters.
I'm going to go with 160,000.
You're really close. You're really, really close. It made $114,374 in its opening weekend, which is
really close.
It fucking nothing. But I mean, 7 theaters, like you kind of got to give it the benefit of the doubt there. It came out on July 12th, and then I think its widest release opened up to 550 theaters, and then over the course of the rest of its run, it managed to make $2.4 million domestic, and then internationally, it made $3,355.
It must have had like a 3.
They probably opened
like theater.
Yeah, probably like opened in Hong Kong, and then that's it. Right? Like it had to be something like that. That's so small. Like it's kind of interesting to think about an indie movie from the United States is like super small time. Like that's a foreign film. You know, like it's kind of hard to call like MCU movies foreign films if you're in China and you're watching MCU because it's enormous. It's like not the same as us watching like a Spanish film. Yeah, you don't at all. That's like part of the point. It's the same way with the Transformers movies.
Even more so with Transformers.
Man, they really did change everything on Box Office Mojo, huh?
Isn't it ugly as shit?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Domestic week. It's like they used to have like lists and shit on here.
They did.
Yeah. Well, so I guess what we could do is, it was this summer, so it's kind of hard for us to do ranking things
this summer.
Exactly, right? You know what? What if we compared this to something? What if we compare this to Napoleon Dynamite?
Oh, shit.
Right? Let's talk about that. They're very, very similar in a lot of ways.
Very brown movies.
Very brown. This movie had an ugly filter over it, didn't it?
This movie was shot bad.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but it did not look nearly as good. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. I want you to guess the difference here. Okay, what do you think Napoleon Dynamite's domestic gross was?
I think the domestic gross was 26 million.
That's a really good guess as well. It definitely performed better than The Art of Self-Defense, but actually domestically it made $44,540,000.
I'm surprised. I figured, it has kind of a cult status, so I wasn't sure how that was going to be factored in and when that kind of took off.
Yeah, it kind of did have that cult thing. It also gathered steam as it went along. Its opening weekend, it only made $116,000, but it only opened in 6 theaters on June 11th, 2004. But it went out of theaters on February 6th, 2005. So it was in theaters for 81 weeks.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why?
Which is, well, actually, that doesn't seem right. 500. That's more than a year. June 11th, 2004 to February 6th, 2005 is like 8 months. So, it was just, I think it gained steam as it went along, right? So it opened really small and it was kind of a hit. So more and more theaters kept buying it up because it was making money. And that's why it ended up making as much as it did. Yeah, go figure. Now you know. And like, if you look at actually some of the dates throughout 2004, because apparently Box Office Mojo gives you all of that shit. You can see that it starts off making like its opening day, it made $40,000 on June 11th. And then it made a little bit more the next day, dropped down a little bit. And then it super shoots up to like 120,000 and way on up into the 200,000, 300,000, 500,000. And at its peak, it was making something like $500,000 a day, and then started dropping back down. But
Jesus,
yeah, it just gathered steam. It's just one of those movies. But yeah, I think that's an interesting and pertinent movie to compare with The Art of Self-Defense. They seem to have a very similar style. I don't know if there's some writing involved. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah. But interesting. So, Ash, having that behind us, I definitely don't run them as well as you do, but
It's okay. I wouldn't have run it much better. There's not really now. We kind of don't have our lists.
Yeah,
we don't have our lists to do quizzies.
Maybe we'll change up the budget breakdown. We'll spitball some ideas. We'll think of something. But yeah. So it's like basically, I just want to hear your expectations. What'd you think? What were you getting ready for with this movie?
Avery told me that we were watching this film earlier today.
Yes, I did.
And I went through an ordeal to give me a way to watch the film. And I went, why is Avery doing this? Why is he doing this? So I was like, this must be an amazing movie. It's great. And I think my first reaction to this film, I'll read it to you. God damn it, Jesse Eisenberg. You have the acting range of a thimble. I think those are my expectations.
Did you look anything up about this movie before you watched it? Did you know Jesse Eisenberg was in it?
Yeah, but I'd seen the commercial. For some reason, I also thought Will Ferrell was in it. So I wasn't that informed.
Yeah, it's Jesse Eisenberg. We definitely have a lot to say about him, I think.
And a lot in common with him if you think about it.
Yeah. I have a very strong feeling about Jesse Eisenberg, but I think we can get into that a little bit later. But yeah, I don't know. I had never seen this movie before. I remember when it came out in theaters, and thinking like, hey, that actually looks kind of enjoyable. I haven't seen Jesse Eisenberg do anything kind of enjoyable in a long time. And I sure as shit wasn't going to go see Zombieland 2 Double Tap. So
that would have been a good fake movie. God damn it.
Yeah, that would have been a really good one. Too late. But yeah, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll give this a shot. I was scrolling through a movie feed that I totally attained legally, and watched this. Yeah, and watched this movie just kind of on a whim, and felt simultaneously interested and let down. But I was expecting something far less entertaining. But I don't know. I was kind of expecting something kind of lackluster from Jesse Eisenberg, and I think that's what I got. So, Ash, your text really sums it up well.
Yeah, he's not a good actor.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's bad.
He's a pretty bad actor.
It's like, you've seen The Social Network, though. Like,
yeah. The one where he plays this character? Yeah,
he plays the exact same character, right? He's a little more confident and like a dick in that. It's just like Jesse Eisenberg, how he probably really is in his real life. This is like a cartoon version of Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg is a guy who you'd see at a bar in LA going, do you know who the fuck I am? And no one would know who he was.
Yeah, people would be like, what are you, Jonah Hill?
Good one. They do not look similar.
They don't. You're right. People would think he's like Harry Potter or something.
Were you Harry Radcliffe,
Potter, bro? Hey, yeah, you were in Lord of the Rings, weren't you?
Yeah, you're Gimli, right?
Yeah, they probably. I don't know. I don't think Jesse Eisenberg gets out of his house. I have a feeling that he doesn't leave his house.
Oh, you're Michael Cera, right?
Oh my God, perfect. You're right. Oh, I loved you in Arrested Development. That's what they would say. Yeah, man.
Karate.
Jesse Eisenberg had one really, really good role. And it wasn't even, I don't know if it was necessarily him bringing it all to the role. I haven't watched The Social Network in a while.
Yeah, like it was good, but product of its time for sure.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know how it holds up. David Fincher is a really, really good director. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It's hard to say. And I haven't watched that movie since it came out. So I'm not entirely sure how it holds up, but maybe we'll talk about that one in the future. But yeah, I just know that movie has a really good soundtrack. Really, really good. But so basically Eisenberg did that, and then kind of did a whole bunch of weird shit for a while. He did what else did he do? He was in one with Kristen Stewart called American Ultra. Do you remember that movie? Yeah, nobody saw that movie.
But I'm not.
Nobody saw that movie. It's
and then don't forget he plays the ultimate villain.
Yeah, he plays Lex Luthor in one of the Zack Snyder Batman Superman movies. I forget which one. Is it
all of them?
It's all of them. Okay, so he's just recurring. I can't think of really anything else he's done. He gets. Was he in Kick-Ass? Was he the kid that's in Kick-Ass, or is that somebody else? That was somebody else.
That's a different kid.
Yeah, that's a different kid who looks
also is him.
Yeah, exactly. But there's Kick-Ass and Kick-Ass 2, and I kind of thought that was him, but I guess it's not.
Oh, let's not forget.
Okay.
Now You See Me, and Now You See Me Too.
He was in those. He was in the sequel. Now You See Me Too.
I think we like at one point early in our friendship we listened to that rant that Dan Harmon did about how it should be called Now You Don't. We just sat in fucking silence for 8 minutes and listened to it together over Discord like a bunch of nerds.
Yeah. Not much has changed. We still do that. Yeah.
Just like, guys being dudes.
Just a bunch of guys being dudes. And fucking whatever, man. Jesse Eisenberg. But I think before we really start ripping Jesse Eisenberg apart, I think we got to talk about some of the pros of this film, because this movie's not devoid of pros.
No, it's complicated, Avery.
Yeah, I agree.
It's complicated.
I agree. I want to say that the concept for this movie is great, but I don't really know what the concept of this movie was.
Yeah,
it doesn't really have a singular thing. It's like, I guess it's like weak man overcomes toxic masculinity. Is that what it's trying to say? I think. Yeah,
it's basically like nonconformity of masculinity is like the concept through like. I guess the point is fear drives people back in traditionalist roles when traditionalist roles aren't right for everyone. Yeah. And when you break away from them, then you can kill your enemies who killed your dog.
Yeah, exactly. It's very those parts of the movie worked. Like the idea that he was this nebbish nerd who just like not necessarily a failure. Like he had a job. He just really was terrified.
It's like a good job.
Yeah, he was just terrified of other men, which is like interesting. Like many people can relate. There were times when I was seeing what he was doing and I was like, dude, why don't you just fucking say you don't want to do that? You know what I mean? And it's like, but I think the idea was he was very, very weak-willed. And so he comes across this karate dojo after being nearly beaten to death by guys on motorcycles, and decides to join in on the karate to learn how to defend himself.
And it's like this very Mussolini-esque like form of just like blind
acceptance of the roles. There's like a hierarchy, and it's very rigid.
Everyone loves a club.
You want to be part of the club. I think that's part of the message too.
It's a really weird how like bad people historically have always made clubs.
Yeah,
like gangs, fascists. They all make clubs. Like what is up with that?
It's also like I think
the
part
Germans,
of it is the ego.
They still have clubs.
Yeah, I think part of it is like the ego of like the person leading the people. It has nothing really to do with the actual. It has nothing to do with karate. The person leading the club is just so narcissistic that they couldn't see their lives any other way. So they feel like they're providing for people who are weaker, and that gives them like self-righteousnrighteousness or something. I don't know. I think that might have been part of what was going on there. But like,
totally. Like, and then just like a bunch of, the whole point of the end of the movie is like, no, these rules don't exist. Anarchy, baby. Like,
yeah,
it was beautiful. And then Imogen Poots finally gets her comeuppance.
Yeah, which was cool. Like, all that stuff like worked really well. Before we should be careful talking about any spoilers, even though I think it's really fucking obvious throughout the movie.
Yeah.
But we should be careful.
There were a couple times where I thought other things were happening, like the blackmail part I didn't see. I saw it coming once it was coming, but my initial, because I guessed what was going to happen about 15 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
But I thought that the thing that happened was to get people to do karate. Like, that was the whole grift, was like beating people up so they start taking karate and they make money that way.
Yeah.
And grow the dojo.
Yeah. I thought that's what it was going to be too, which just seems like it's that almost seems like a better idea than what ends up being the case. It's like, if it was just as like simple as like they were just trying to grow their membership. like that's almost like, that's kind of just like, well, you got to do what you got to do. Like, how else are you going to keep a struggling karate dojo pumping through these economic times,
Absolutely. And dude, but the reality was the movie was entirely built to be the one scene from Indiana Jones where the guy swings the sword around and then Indiana Jones shoots him.
Yeah.
That was what the whole movie was.
That they thought of that part of that movie, like, that was like the second thing. They were like, what about a nebbish man who starts doing karate? And then they were like, and then he kills the dojo master. He kills his sensei. Like that those are the first two ideas, right?
Yeah.
And he has a dog. like that's the order how this was created. And that's basically the whole movie.
We did it, guys.
I will say that I do love the idea that they were using. Let's talk about spoilers. Fuck it. We got stuff to say. If you guys don't want to hear any spoilers, then that's fine. This is a bonus episode anyway. So
how dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
Come on our podcast. Tell us how to live our lives.
Yeah, exactly. But
next time we're watching Stuber, you assholes. That's what you get.
Yeah, right. I started Stuber. I gotta be honest. I got about halfway through it before, like, Sid and I were like watching it and like doing something else, and we were like, we gotta change this.
You heard it here, couldn't folks. Even never have sex to Stuber.
We couldn't even background noise Stuber. I will say though, I do like the idea of this sensei blackmailing people into joining his karate studio and keeping
forever
the evidence, just to like have control over them. I think that is like, I love that concept of it. I think they betray it so early on though, and it's like, I don't know. It could have been executed a little bit better, but I almost kind of like the bluntness of everything too. Like the fact that it's like right in his face, but he's so blinded by his devotion to his new like circle of friends that he's trying to get in with.
He doesn't really have a relationship with them.
Yeah. But kind of weird. But he has respect for them, and they have some kind of simultaneous respect for him, I guess. He just doesn't know. He's just blinded. Yeah, he's blinded by his devotion to this place and doesn't see the signs that are just right in front of him until he's convinced to like physically harm people on camera. And then he starts to really question it. I think that was one of the turning points.
Yeah. One of many. Another huge pro. They brought in my fucking dudes over at the band Full of Hell into this movie.
Really?
What? Yeah. Well, they're not like my friends, but it's one of my favorite bands. Was the death metal band that was in this movie? Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, they did. I was like, who is this? This is good. I mean, they're from Ocean City, Maryland, and Central Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and the tracks in the movie are from an album called God, what's it called? I forget what it's called, but it's with Merzbow, the Japanese noise artist.
Cool.
Which was fucking he wrote the album Pulse Demon, which is the coolest album title ever.
That is very cool. Yeah, cool. Awesome, dude. I was like, man, they're fucking good. I gotta check these guys out. That was like one of the best parts of the whole movie. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Great. Actually pretty not memorable music outside of that, but in general, like that was like very noticeable to me because he's just like, you have to start listening to death metal now.
That was just like the funniest thing to me. It was just like the sensei was so obsessed. What was his name? His name was Leslie. The sensei was so obsessed with appearing as masculine as possible that he was like, even like the kind of music that you like to listen has to be metal. Even like, even down to fucking, what was it? It was like, he was like, I learned French. I like French culture. And he was just like, no, you need to learn Russian. Actually, German. That also works. I do like, there were some like good scenes with some quick wit in there.
Yeah.
I feel like it wasn't
few and far between, but there were some really good. Yeah.
I feel like the writers and directors really wanted to get on a Wes Anderson level with this movie and fell short, I think, visually specifically, but also the wit was good in points, and you can tell that they thought of those scenes first. And then I think they had to fill in the blanks, and that might be where they fell apart. So, what do you know? But shit. Well, what else do we have for pros? There's got to be some other stuff, right? Right?
Yeah, I mean, it was fine.
That means we're
I don't
out
know
of pros.
if I like or hate that he randomly becomes a superhero for like one scene in the movie, or two scenes in the movie.
When he's like, it's after he gets the yellow belt and he goes to work and he's just being super upfront with everybody and he punches his boss in the throat.
That's not what I was thinking of, but that was a good scene.
Yeah.
No, I was thinking of when he finds that truck that bumped him earlier and he karate chops off the wheel and then kicks the wheel once and it goes flat. Like, I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's not very clear on what the limits of his powers actually are. And I love the idea that he has this like secret inner strength that they just kind of forgot to touch on. Except for there when he's able to like destroy personal property.
Yeah. Inanimate objects, he's fine, but
yeah.
Weird.
It's a weird movie, man.
Fucking movie.
Weird fucking movie. Let's get into some cons because while this movie I feel like was a generally positive experience, there were some specific points I think that this movie lacks in. I want you to start.
I think we've mentioned this. This movie was shot by a 6-year-old.
It didn't look very good.
It did not look good. It looked so bad. It's so brown.
Yeah.
And like they tried to do like color stuff, like, oh, look at they're all wearing their different color belts. But karate belts are very boring colors, and most of these people were wearing brown belts.
Yeah. They all looked exactly the same. Like all of the darker belts looked like they were the same color, I noticed. I think a big part of this is, I don't think that this was shot that way. I think that that's a color correction issue that probably happened in post, maybe to cover up some lighting issues. I'm not entirely sure if that's the case.
Where was this filmed? Was this filmed in like...
Probably in LA.
Muskogee?
Yeah, right.
No, it was filmed in Louisville.
Louisville? Really?
Yeah.
No shit. Well, I had no idea. It's odd that they filmed that
What's it
there.
like to be so fucking wrong?
I had no idea. I was just like, this is probably LA, right? But shit, go fucking figure. Honestly, I think that that's an issue with the color correction. I did notice that though. Like the color correction was bad. It was just bad.
It was really bad.
They could have gone like the colorful route. Like, why didn't they make it a colorful movie? Or did they want to like try to like use the color as some kind of mysterious part of the movie, like make it like harder to determine what was going on? I don't know.
I feel like when they shot this, they weren't sure if they wanted to go Wes Anderson or Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yeah, they were very torn. It's very split directions. It's equal parts a Wes Anderson movie and Napoleon Dynamite, and a little bit of Scott Pilgrim when he karate chops this like quick wit characters that are just too smart for him, and he's like, "What?" Like that kind of shit.
Like a couple of the quick cuts in the movie. There were a couple of them that were just like, "Oh, you're right, gotcha."
Yeah. This movie was restored, I think, in editing. I think some of the shoddy camera work. I don't know. There were some good parts. I liked when they were in the fighting dojo for the night class. Everyone was all in slow motion, and there was the death metal, and everyone was beating each other's asses. That was a pretty cool scene. Yeah. That looked pretty good. Okay. Yeah.
It was really funny when just like they're like, all right, we're done. And the dudes just strip down and start stretching each other out. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Like, I love the stark
unnecessary
difference.
Dong. But
I loved the stark difference between the day class and the night class. It was just like the day class was like kind of fun, and then the first thing that happens is his friend from the day class that sneaks into the night class gets his arm just brutally broken by the sensei for almost no reason. Like, that's uncalled for. But I like that that's why they started it off. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
I kind of like, as soon as I saw him like hold his arm out, I was like, he's gonna break his arm from the elbow. It was like kind of an easy call.
Didn't look great.
Yeah.
That might be the biggest fault of this movie, is that it is the most painfully predictable film.
Very, very predictable. This movie, I think, also wants to fucking be Fight Club a little bit too much. Did you get like those Fight Club vibes that they were going for? Right?
Yeah, and if you're gonna make it like indie quirky comedy Fight Club, make that sensei like worse. He was too straight laced and like to an extent where it wasn't silly, when it almost needed to be so extreme, and
he needed to be
ridiculous,
like comically narcissistic, you know?
Yeah.
Like almost so over the top that it drew its attention in this to the fact that he's clearly duping these people or something along those lines in just an absurd way. Like, in the fact that they were so blindly devoted to what he's doing needed to become more obvious. I think that would have, him being heightened, the sensei being heightened. But I do like the idea that they kind of like make you think like, hey, maybe he is a good guy, although he just absolutely reeks of villain. You know,
I mean, I have a hard time grasping like why people would like fall for that twist.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just no reason. It's like you said, as soon as he's like, we don't go in that room, it's like, oh, okay. He's probably the motorcycle guy who beat him up. Like as soon as they said that, it's like, okay, so shady shit happens here. And it's pretty obvious. But
and they don't explain all the stuff that's back there because it's just a crematory.
Yeah, well, I guess people die. I think you're supposed to kind of use your imagination a little bit. Like, so because like
it's such a specific room.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. But I did like when he finds the films and like he sees like his, and they're just like talking about whether or not they should kill him. Like that's it's like, I don't know, man. There was some good stuff in here, but for the most part, it was just a very middling movie that really wanted to be too much of too many other movies. You know?
Yeah.
I think is really the problem that it fell. It didn't know if it was going to be a mystery or a comedy or a almost like a horror movie at points. It didn't really fully commit to anything, and I think because of that, it just does everything okay. So
yeah,
shit.
No, I mean,
what else is there to say? We're like falling weirdly short.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is a bonus episode, but this was kind of a unremarkable movie in a lot of ways. I think that pacing kind of did it bad.
I don't know. There were times when I felt like the movie was well paced. I feel like they flesh out Jesse Eisenberg's character over a long enough part over the first half of the movie that you understand how he's going to react to the things that come his way in the second half, and then it kind of throws you a curveball, and like you kind of see that his arc is like I don't know. Maybe that's even predictable.
Yeah,
like his arc is pretty obvious.
He speaks. Yeah. I'm just like, oh, okay.
He's gonna get his revenge on somebody. Like his dog was so sweet Like, it's just like, man, something's gonna happen to his dog. You just kind of
Also,
knew that.
my biggest fucking problem with this movie is that he never once mentions the dog after he talks to Leslie, and Leslie's like, "No, I didn't kill your dog, dude." And when he gives this like little monologue about like, "I'm gonna kill you, it's because I hate you," he doesn't even say, "Also, you got my dog fucking killed." I guess he gets revenge on the guy who killed his dog. But
Yeah.
I'd be more pissed about my dog as a human being than Jesse Eisenberg was.
Yeah, I think I would be too. Yeah,
Like
it's just like
if the karate studio fucking like someone at the karate studio killed my dog, I would have walked in there with the gun right away and just been like, all right, who killed my
fuck
fucking
you.
dog?
Yeah, you can. That's a pretty huge.
I'm gonna
like,
be shooting off toes until someone tells me.
yeah, toes. Which
Yeah.
ones do you like? Because those ones are going first.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Which little piggy goes to market?
yeah. Poor guy, poor dog. Just a,
Yeah.
a sad man. And when Zach Galifianakis is in this movie very briefly. There's someone you haven't heard from. Yeah, there's someone you haven't seen in a long time. Fucking goddamn. What else? Like, who else? Like, I swear to God, I recognize the sensei.
Let me look at what he's in. Alessandro Nivola.
That's his name.
Yeah, he's from Jurassic Park 3, American Hustle,
Oh,
Face Off.
he was. Oh my God, he was the guy in Jurassic Park 3 that was like Dr. Grant's protege.
Sure, I don't remember.
I knew I recognized him from somewhere, dude. It's
Billy.
pretty forgettable, but yeah, Billy was his name. The character was an idiot, but cool. I'm glad he still does things. Good for him. I mean, it's super small time, it seems, but at least he's in movies.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, man. if I were to think about this movie, like, I don't know, it's just like
It's kind of forgettable.
it's forgettable, isn't it? And that's really the biggest con, huh? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing that special.
Yeah. Who is the director for this movie?
His name is Imogen Poots. No, it's it's Riley
There's a con.
Stearns.
There's a con right there. The name's Imogen Poots.
He's from Texas, USA.
Oh, good for him.
He's done
Oh, he's done quite
Faults
a few.
and no, he hasn't.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at the More Like This. I thought that was the other stuff he directed.
No. Yeah, so he did Fault was his other movie with Leland Orser and Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and that's about something.
The Cub. Oh, he wrote that.
Yeah, but that's a short. Like, his only other movie is Fault. A man who
Okay.
debunks mind control techniques as a profession must help a couple whose daughter has recently joined a cult.
Interesting.
Sounds all right.
Wait, is he the director for both of these too? Oh yeah. Okay. He is. Yeah. Oh, I see. All of his other ones are short movies going back to 2011.
Yeah.
2014 to 2019 is a pretty big gap. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really big gap. He didn't do anything. Like, I'm looking at his other credits too, and he hasn't been credited on anything else from 2014 to 2019. Oh wait, he got a thanks credit for a
His
short.
hometown is Austin, Texas. There you go.
Cool.
And he was married to Mary Elizabeth Winstead till 2017.
Wow. No shit. In Austin, Texas.
Yeah.
Wow.
And now she's going to be, what's her name? Huntress in Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn.
Wow. Great.
That's the full name of that fucking movie,
That's
dude.
fucking terrible,
Kill
man.
me.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, she looks great. She's from Austin too? Really?
She's gorgeous.
She
No,
was
she's from North Carolina.
she was born in North Carolina.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if that means she's from there.
I love these trademarks that they have in here. Trademark. Her low voice, wide eyes, and pale skin.
Her low voice. Yeah, hey, it's me, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's like smoking a
Look at
cigarette.
how wide my eyes are.
Yeah, Howdy. Yeah, you probably remember me from Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yeah, that was me.
Oh my god, everyone's a nightmare. I'm trying to see who else. Yeah, okay, I'm just going through people at this point. Emma Stone, hers are bright emerald green eyes, distinctive husky voice, and red hair.
Distinctive husky voice.
Wait, who is this? This is also her? Does she have a husky voice? I wouldn't.
Emma Stone.
Oh.
Let's see what they say about Imogen
I guess
Poots.
she has a unique voice. I wouldn't necessarily call it husky.
I would.
Husky.
That seems insulting.
Just a chubby boy of a voice.
Just a husky little voice. Hey, it's me.
Madonna. Trademarks.
Meaty
For each of her
arms.
albums, she has this different look. Muscular and toned arms. Courting controversy. Facial mole above. I don't care. Grills. Killer abs. Crucifixes as accessories. Muscular thick legs.
Muscular, thick. They didn't talk about her big, meaty orangutan arms.
It says muscular and toned arms for Madonna.
All right, hell yeah.
Oh my god.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, and Imogen Poots has an older brother named Alex Poots.
Dude, Madonna's arms are fucking ripped. God damn. Dude, her delts are like bigger than mine. Shit. I was joking. I used to always make that joke that Madonna has beefy arms, but Jesus Christ.
Listen, there aren't enough actresses in Hollywood who can crush a watermelon with their thighs, and I think that that's a travesty.
God fucking damn, her arms are huge. Guys, Google Madonna's arms. Good Lord. Holy shit.
All right, let's see this.
She's like, yeah. What's up?
Just guys being dudes.
What's another song she did?
I don't
Like a
fucking
virgin.
know.
And I feel.
God.
Husky voice. All right, we gotta fucking stop.
Yeah,
is a
we're
nightmare.
just talking about nothing. All right, great. We're talking
Let's
about
review this movie.
Madonna's beefy arms. So let's wrap this up. We got some stuff. We can wrap this all up in 5 words, ratings, reviews, whether or not you should see it. Do you want to go first? I don't have 5 words yet.
Yeah. My first word will be followed by just guys being dudes. I think that is the theme of this episode and the theme of this film. Just guys being dudes.
I think that's great. That actually fits really well. I like that. Bring it all back around. That's well done. Well done.
This film, as I told you, is one of the worst good movies I've ever seen. It is a good movie. It is bad. It is not
It's a good movie. It's bad. God, we don't even make sense anymore. Fuck.
No, but it is. It's like objectively, this is an okay movie. It's a good movie, but it's not good.
God. Oh my God. Our messages on movies have been getting more and more fucking just
Like,
obtuse. Like, do they like
esoteric.
movies? I can't even tell if they like movies anymore. Movies make me want to die.
That's also what you texted me earlier today. I'm gonna give this movie a solid 7 out of 10. Don't see this. It is really a waste of time. Watch the first 20 minutes. You're good. You get it, dude. Like, you're not dumb. You figured it out.
Yeah. Fuck.
What about you, Avery?
Okay, so this is also on point for this episode. My 5 words are going to be Madonna's fucking big beefy arms. Because she's got some fucking.
Is that off point?
Well, just dudes being dudes. She's one of the dudes. Have you seen her deltoids? God fucking damn. She would have been good at karate in this movie. Why wasn't she the sensei? Fucking shit,
That
dude.
would have been great.
Her arms are fucking bigger than mine. Like, she's fucking huge. Yeah, so there you go. Madonna's big beefy arms. This movie gets a solid 6 out of 10. It looks like crap, but it's got some witty parts. And Jesse Eisenberg is just a wet sandwich, man. Just the wettest, just falls apart. It's just fucking awful. It's like this is his most nebbish character to date, and I feel like he's really finally just tapped into his inner worm. Because
Just wet lettuce.
he's just sad and pathetic, and he's got this great face structure. He's built like an Easter Island head, but like just everything else just wet noodle, man. Just all the way down from chin on down, wet noodle flopping around on camera. Dude, like, don't watch it. You know what? Watch it. Why not? Like, why not, dude? If you can find it, because it's not out on VOD yet, but if you can find it, which trust me, it's not that hard. If you can find it, then go ahead and watch it. You will have wasted your time, but at least it'll distract you from your inevitable demise. So there you go. The art of self-defense,
Karate.
the art of self-destruction is the subtitle for this movie. I don't know. Man, this movie, whatever. This movie was like just a beige monstrosity. Everything about it. Jesse Eisenberg was in it. Beige. The color correction. Beige.
Beige.
Madonna's beefy man arms. Kind of beige. So, Imogen Poots, she was there.
By name alone, she made the film better.
I think
that actually she was pretty decent.
Yeah,
I think
she
that
actually
she
was
did a
pretty
good job acting.
Yeah, she's a good actor. I would like to see her in more stuff, but like her name alone is probably the most interesting thing about the art of self-defense. So there you go. Take that home with you. Thanks for listening to our bonus episode, guys. We really do like movies. I just like.
Speak for yourself, dog.
It's like I do like our character that we've developed. It's just like we don't even. Can you tell if we like him or not? Like we're just saying like absolute nonsense. Oh,
What? It's good, but it's not. It's not good.
It's not good and it's not bad. It's a bad good movie.
Yeah, it's a bad good movie.
Weirdest way of putting it that makes so much sense. But
oh God! Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see the little baby boys and girls later this week. We're gonna talk about Dr. Sleep, where I will scream endlessly.
Yeah, I'm so glad that they've confirmed that Dr. Sleep is actually Doctor Strange's brother, and it's officially a movie in the MCU.
Yeah, and then brother incest, because it is a middle movie. So Doctor Strange came first, then Doctor Sleep, and the last movie, Doctor Strangelove, or how I learned how to stop worrying and love the bomb.
Yeah, excellent. And also, you could tell they're related because their first name is both Doctor.
Yeah, and bad facial hair.
Exactly. Fucking great.
And also 2 British guys pretending to be American. Oh,
yeah. Ewan McGregor and Eggs Benedict Cucumber Patch. Which is my favorite dish to order at Denny's.
Yeah, damn it.
Yeah.
Whenever someone says Denny's, I feel like it can smell like that.
The hash browns.
Disgusting. It's like hash brown pancake fart. Like that's the cohesive smell of Denny's.
That's how they hold it all together. Have you ever seen that video where it's the metal band playing in Denny's?
Wait the fuck up, Denny's.
Yeah, what's up? What the fuck is up, Denny's? If you haven't seen it, there's a whole video of their whole set. It's called the Denny's Grand Slam. And it's just a concert at Denny's in the middle of the night. And it's this hardcore band probably from rural Delaware.
There is no rural. That state is 3 inches across. Yeah, so there is no rural part.
It's probably from rural Pennsylvania, but
it's probably where all hardcore music comes from.
The Denny's Grand Slam is the name of it. Go ahead and look it up. You're not gonna regret it. So the Denny's Grand Slam concert. There's so many videos of it.
In this Denny's.
Yeah. 2 a.m. at Denny's. Fucking amazing. But yeah. All right, guys, we're going to let you go at this point because we clearly went into this like kind of cold. But we did it. All right? We did it.
Technically.
Technically, it's a podcast. We love you guys so much, for real. Thanks for sticking around for 101 episodes. And if you watched them all or listened to them all in a row, you're probably dead. You should have eaten something somewhere. I hope you're okay. You need to sleep. Yeah.
This isn't good ambient music.
Yeah.
This isn't hot beats to study to.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to end at some point, man. All right. Well, thank you so much for listening, everybody. We love you all so much. Goodbye.
Not only does this represent my black belt in karate, but it also helps me keep my pants up.